Hello, dear tea friends from around the world. Welcome to a new tea class with me, Stéphane Herder, the founder of the Tea Masters blog and the tea-masters.com tea boutique. Today we are celebrating Christmas a bit in advance. I also had to do it in my family because my son will be traveling over the holidays. So we had our Christmas party already today. The whole family, and this gave me the opportunity to experiment tea pairing that I propose that you also implement during your own Christmas party. I found it very, very useful on several levels. Uh, Adding tea to the mix of food and drinks had lots of benefits. It created an alternative to wine for those who are not drinking wine, and also for those who are like me drinking wine but don't have so much training and are not used to drink a lot or often. It helps to drink less and therefore not to get drunk or dizzy or tired because of the alcohol that we are not used to drink during the year. If you only drink wine on these kind of occasions, then you are uh, sometimes overwhelmed by the occasion and drink too much, and then you miss out or you say bad things that you did not want to say in public. So drinking some tea together with the alcohol still helps to get in the mood, but also helps to calm it down and tone it down a notch. Another good effect I found is that these Christmas dinners and lunches are quite heavy on the stomach, and drinking tea is a drink that contains no alcohol, no sugar. Uh, it's water and some nice flavors, so it is very healthy, very uh, digestible, digestive. I don't know, and actually, it also helps to digest the other things, especially some fatty meals like meat or cheese. We had fondue bourguignon. This is beef that is put in oil, in grapeseed oil, and so this is really very fat. But the tea we chose helped to break down these fats and make it easier on the liver, so easier digestion. And at the end of the meal, you don't feel like you have a full belly that you cannot move anymore. You are still in a good shape, good spirits to continue, and the party, the talk with your friends in a good mood, in good spirits. And last but not least, uh, these all these flavors that are in tea, when they are really when they are well paired with the meal, they can add more pleasure because you find new aromas, you find new combinations that work very well together. And this uh, class is about to tell you what are the combinations that are nice to try out during these holidays, what I think works well, and give you some principles which tea will go best with which food. Now, let me start by preheating it with my Guy one. I want to make this Oriental Beauty and drink it during the class like I usually do. And I will pair it now, since it's 10 in the evening, with these cookies, homemade cookies. So here you can already get pairing number one, sweet things, sweet dishes, desserts, cookies, etc. They go well with red teas. Red teas, that these are teas that are fully oxidized or almost fully oxidized. Like Oriental Beauty is technically still an oolong because it's not 100%, but it's very close to 200. So it can also qualify as a tea that will pair well with some cookies or desserts. So, but of course, then each cookie has some different characteristics. One has is with vanilla, the other one has more honey flavors, and the third one has orange and cinnamon flavors. So there's not one tea that will fit all. Some teas are doing a better job than others with a certain type of cookies. This is where the interest, where the pleasure is in experimenting with the different teas that you might have on hand. So what I can tell you is today with my Oriental Beauty Imperial, had very good results with this Schwover Bredle, this cinnamon and orange cookie. It gave actually a spicy note to when both melted together. And my Hualien Daye Oolong red teas, I had the top in the German class, goes very well with this chocolate and honey cookie because the honey notes of the tea, of the red tea, go quite well with this honey cookie. Okay, let's empty it now. There are different moments during the Christmas meal. Each moment might also require a different tea. Now I've started with the end, with the dessert. We can come back to the beginning when you start the aperitif, the entrance, the start of the meal. In France, usually for this kind of festivities, we would open a bottle of champagne. Now, in the tea world, we call oolong, Oriental Beauty champagne oolong. However, I think that in terms of energy that you want to get from this aperitif, the Gushu raw Gushu young will give a lot of energy, lightness, very similar to a champagne. So when you are a bit tired, usually a Gushu a Yangsheng is the kind of tea that wakes you up, and I think it can either replace or complement champagne at the beginning of a meal. Shengpu is also a very nice tea that goes well with lots of seafood like mussels, oysters. This is one area where you can use Shengpu, Yang Shengpu. You could also use Yang Shengpu with some cheeses, the stronger ones. Like tonight we had Saint Albrecht, and that was that is milk, not pasteurized cow milk cheese that went very well with Shengpu. Some other meals, some other dishes that you have on Christmas. The one is poultry. I think I told you for Thanksgiving already that with poultry in general, turkey and all kinds of duck, chicken, etc. High Mountain Oolong is a very good choice. The lightness of the white meat goes well with the fresh, flowery aromas of the High Mountain Oolong. So you can also try this. However, if you are having a dinner with red meat, like I had, beef or game, then more then darker oolongs with roasting are usually better choice. So here you could try my high roast Tieloran, my long roast Tieloran. Nice. Let's see how it goes. Since the Imperial went well with this, should also the tradition should also go well. I have a piece with orange. And yes, a very nice mix. They complement each other very nicely. We can also try a piece of the honey and chocolate cookie. Now, this is also to show you how you will try to do the pairing with small bites, like you would do a tea tasting. Pin in Chinese means 3 mouths. When we don't drink tea, we taste tea. So in the same spirit, when you do a tea pairing, you try not to drink a lot, like with wine. Actually, you try to take small bites of the food and then of the tea. Very, that's yeah, on the honey note, they go very well together. And another principle that you should use for tea pairing is that you should brew your teas more strongly than usual, because when we just drink tea without any food, we usually drink it at a certain lighter level. But food is so powerful; it has so many other components, sugar, fat, that are longer lasting in the mouth. That against all these forces, you need a bit stronger teas to be able to match. Otherwise, if your tea feels watered down, then you won't get the experience of a complement of complementing the tea and the food. It will be 90% food and maybe only 10% tea. So then you don't feel it. You have to get to a level where they are kind of a 50-50 and then see if they are matching or not. Very nice. So, what else do we have? No, at the end of a large Christmas meal, sometimes you will also be served cheese, especially if you're in France, or if you're of French descent. Then cheese on such a festive meal is almost a must. And then instead of drinking white wine, which actually goes best with most cheeses, you can use either Champour or Chaupour. Now, the Chaupour will go better with the lighter cheeses like Brie or Reblochon, this kind of paste. The Champour will go better with some stronger teas or also like goat cheeses. Usually, then that's in this area you want to go. Then today I had a question in my French class. What tea can you use instead of drinking a bourbon, a whiskey at the end of the meal? Now, for this, you could either take a very nicely roasted Dongjing Oolong, I think it has these cereal notes that you find in whiskey. Or you could also take an old, nicely aged Shangpur, but here the older the better. This will have a lot of dimensions, a lot of yeah, mouthfeel, and this is the kind of tea that you drink like you would appreciate an old brandy, a cognac. So there exists teas to replace or to complement wine, alcohol, almost at every stage of the meal, and even before and after, and for the desserts or for the cookie time. So don't hesitate. Try to make your setting for brewing tea as simple as possible. Maybe this is the time to use a pitcher so that you can also pass the tea along in the at the table, so that everybody can refill his glass by easily. And try not to uh, disturb the flow from the kitchen. The best is that you make the tea as an addition to what is being offered by the cook. If you are the cook yourself, that's one more reason to keep it very simple, because you won't have much time to pay attention to the tea. And here the advantage by making it strong is actually, if you forget it, if you overbrew, it's not such a big problem, because actually you want it quite strong. So here then you can choose to use a bit fewer leaves and longer brews, but sometimes more leaves and longer brews can also be a good solution to get a really very, very powerful tea that is powerful enough to complement the food that you want to pair it with. I hope I give you some ideas for the Christmas meal, the festivities to come. Thank you very much for following me this year. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this class. And we will do one more next week, where we will talk more about next year's classes. Let me check if you have any questions. Elizabeth writes, I'm wondering if there is some dish or dessert, not necessarily on Christmas, that would go well with a light tea like Qin 22 Baozhong. Now, Qin Baozhong has a little higher oxidation than most Baozhongs from Pinglin, because this one comes from Sanxia. But it is still very far from the oxidation level of red tea or Oriental Beauty. So that would be, we might have to do some search to find, in theory, this is not a natural pairing. Maybe there's something that can go, but like this, on top of my head, I would say it's a bit more difficult to do this. Baozhong can go well with some salads. If you have salad in the meal, this could be one place to fit it. But yeah, on top of my head, for dessert, I don't know. Yeah, it would be a delicate dish. Maybe a pudding, but as the creaminess does not really go well with the chili, I think. But now it will become your assignment. You can explore, see if you find something that goes well. I will try with my cookies. Maybe it works, but Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for your comments and ideas. And if you want to be continue to be in the spirit of the Advent and the countdown to Christmas, follow me on Instagram. Every day I post chashi that I make to get to the 24th. It's my way of waiting for Christmas by having a nice tea every day. Except actually on the 16th, on that day I didn't feel so well, so there was no tea on that day. But otherwise, there has been so far a tea for every day of December. I wish you again a wonderful Christmas and very nice uh, party with all your friends and family. And cheers. Mm. Let's see how it goes with this. Mm. The vanilla, no, it's too light. It goes better with this cookie. Yeah, so it's difficult. It's there's general rules, but they don't apply equally to all the desserts. That's why today I only gave general directions for the details. Sometimes it's better to try before or during the meal. It's at the end. That's also why it's better to use better teas. If the pairing is not 100%, at least you get the enjoyment of a very good tea. And we deserve a very good tea on Christmas. This is not the time when you try to cut corners. So, Merry Christmas and have good teas. My meal will be vegetarian, so I'll give it some thought. Okay, yeah. Uh, with more veggies, I think baozong can be a very good choice. Thank you very much, Elizabeth and Terry. Bye bye.